Lahaba claimed she was a descendant of Queen Ranthia Drawl, Queen of Embers.
One of the slender sprites, Rithi, maybe? Puffed with red flame.
An heir of Ranthia?
A chill went down Bryce's arms.
She said so.
Fire sprites do not lie about their lineage. How do you know her?
I knew her. She died 3 months ago. She gave her life to save mine.
The 3 sprites floated toward Bryce.
The draw line has long been scattered to the winds. We don't know how many remain. To lose even one.
She bowed her head, flame dimming to a soft yellow.
You are a friend to the sprite?
Bryce twisted to the female.
Yes.
Damn her tight throat. She looked to the 3 sprites.
I freed Lahaba before she died. It was her first and final act of freedom to choose to save me. She was the bravest person I've ever met.
Milana drifted to Bryce, pressing a warm, burning hand to her cheek.
In her honor, we shall call you an ally of our people.
Bryce didn't miss the slave tattoo on Milana's wrist. The other 2 sprites bore the same marking. She slowly turned to Ethan.
I'm glad you stole them from that creep.
It didn't feel right to leave them.
Something in her chest melted, and she suppressed the urge to hug her old friend, to cry at the glimmer of the male she'd once known.
Can't we find some way out of this, Mr. Fancy Prince?
Mark's on it.
Declan held up his phone.
He thinks you two might be able to use your royal sway to either commandeer them on behalf of the royal household, or get the astronomer to accept payment for them rather than press charges.
Payment?
Relax.
Flynn smirked.
We got the money, princess.
Yeah, I've seen your daddy's fancy house.
Ooh.
Bryce earned a scowl from Flynn. Bryce suppressed her smile and lifted a brow at Rune. She'd fucked up one friendship thanks to pulling princess rank, but this? For Lahaba, she'd do it.
You in, chosen one?
Rune's mouth quirked to the side.
Hell yeah, Starborn.
Bryce waved him off and turned fully to the dragon in the hallway.
I'm guessing you cost a lot.
More than even a prince and princess can afford. I was a gift to the astronomer from an archangel.
Must have been some reading the astronomer did for them.
It was.
Her eyes cooled to jet-black cinders. To leave her at the astronomer's mercy, to go back into that tiny little ring to sit on his filthy old fingers?
Look, if Mark's right about the commandeering slaves thing for royal services, then Rune and I can make up some shit to explain why we need you.
Why help me?
Bryce tapped her wrist.
My mate was a slave. I can't turn a blind eye to it anymore. No one should.
And since she'd already helped out one lost soul today, why not add a few more?
Who is your mate?
Wait, you guys are mates? Like, mates?
Mates.
Does the Autumn King know?
Bryce could have sworn Rune glanced at Ethan, who was busy with something on his phone.
Let's say it was officially confirmed last night.
Flynn whistled. Bryce rolled her eyes, but faced the dragon again.
His name is Hunt Athalar.
Recognition kindled in the dragon's eyes.
Orion Athalar?
One and the same. You know him?
Her mouth pressed into a thin line.
Only by reputation.
Ah. What's your name?
Ariadne.
Ari for short.
Never Ari.
Bryce's mouth twitched.
Well, Ariadne, expect these idiots to piss you off on an hourly basis. But try not to burn the place down.
She winked at the dragon.
Feel free to toast Flynn when he's a smartass, though.
Flynn flipped her off, but Bryce turned toward the door, only to find 3 sprites in her face.
You should speak to our queen about Lahapa's bravery. Erithis is not a descendant of Ranthia, but she would like to hear your tale.
I'm pretty busy. Gotta go to work.
But Milana turned to her sister.
She'd need to find Erithis first.
She explained to Bryce.
Last we heard, before we went into the rings all those years ago, she had been sold to one of the Asteri. But perhaps they'd let you speak to her.
Why would I need to speak to her?
Bryce kept heading for the door, aware of Ariadne's keen gaze.
Because princesses need allies.
Bryce halted.
I'm going to need a really big drink after work.